Monte Pittmann. I feel like Navin Johnson. I grew up in East Texas, and I moved to California 18 years ago. I'm a guitar player, a guitar teacher. I have my own band. Yeah, I play guitar for Madonna. I've been with her since 2000. And when I first moved to LA from Texas, I started teaching guitar lessons. I worked in a music store. That didn't work out so well. And I started teaching guitar lessons because there weren't any guitar teachers. So I started teaching her, and a month later she asked me to come play on David Letterman with her. I mean, if you see this performance, she had only been playing guitar for a month. She knew a few things from back in the late 70s, early 80s. So that's pretty crazy that if you just learn something to go on TV, because she's only been on Letterman a handful of times in her entire career. So we do that, and then she's going to go on tour again, and she hadn't been on tour in 7 years, and she invited me to come on tour with her. And she keeps calling me back. So it's been amazing. I love working with her. She's the best bandmate, best boss, best student, and you know, the things that you get to experience on a tour like that are just like you would never even dream of these things. So I'm very lucky and very happy to be coming back after all these years. I'm excited for what's going to happen in the future with us. I have my own band, which is just Monte Pittmann. I do acoustic music, I do heavy music, rock music. I made a solo album. It's just acoustic guitar and vocals, so I can perform anywhere. And as my shows got bigger and got better set times, I started having a band. So that led to my second album being acoustic guitar and vocals, but with drums and bass and some guitar solos. And for my third album, I made a heavy album just because I wanted to do it. And that got me signed to Metal Blade Records. And then I put out my latest album called Inverted Grasp of Balance. It's also on Metal Blade Records. And at the moment, I'm putting some videos out, putting out a video for each song. They're kind of like performance videos. But I play shows where it's just me, just solo shows. And I can fly anywhere and do shows, and I don't have to worry about if a band is available. And I start out like 20 minutes of acoustic. The first song I play is The Four Horsemen from Metallica, but I play it like kind of fast acoustic. Do a couple of my songs, a Jeff Buckley song, and then I get into my heavy songs. And I use the drums and the bass from my albums, and I play it off of an iPod. And that's my band, and I travel with a Kemper Profiler, and I just put that in my suitcase, and I can go anywhere and do a show. A day for me is I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I go to the gym between 5 and 6. And I come home. Sometimes I have to go to the grocery store and get whatever I need for the day. It takes about 10 minutes. So when I get home around 6:15 or so, I'll have a cup of coffee, watch the sun come up, and I sit and play my guitar, and I at least play through all of my guitar solos in my live show. And then I feel like I'm ready to start the day, like I've done so much before anybody else kind of wakes up. And so I get ready, and then whatever, I teach guitar lessons online over Skype and FaceTime. So I've got students all over the globe. China, Mexico City, Finland, New Jersey. So sometimes I'm teaching people really early. And anybody could take lessons from me. Just email me at lessons@montepittmann.com. Or if you go to my website, montepittmann.com, you can find me. Instagram, Facebook, any of the social media. Not too hard to find, hopefully. So that's it. I teach, and then I play shows on the weekends. And that takes up most of my time. So I'm on the go from like 4:30 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. In LA, you have traffic. When I'm driving to go to someone's house to teach them, it's at least an hour to get somewhere and then an hour back. So there's a lot of that. That's when I make my phone calls. Yeah, and actually I have a day job too, where I play in a cover band with a friend of mine, and I work for his company like when I'm not teaching. So that's kind of my escape. I get to sit at the desk and just like,
Okay.
oh, can't answer that phone, I'm at work.
Cool.
The gear I can't live without would be the Kemper Profiler. I say it's the greatest invention ever for guitar. And the way that I use it is I go into my profiler, that goes stereo direct into the board. So sometimes that's what the sound man needs, and it always sounds great. Also, I use the direct out, which is untouched. It's just like you're plugging into your amp. That goes into my orange half stack. So I have the Kemper going into one cabinet, my orange going into the other cabinet. And since one's analog and one's digital, it gives you the perfect latency, the perfect spread. How you would normally, if you just have two amps, you'd put like a delay in between them to widen the sound. So it's perfect. And then I have sounds that I've profiled from my amps. I've got a friend who lives down the street. He's got an old Marshall Blues Breaker, and he's got this amp called a Magic amp that it's a guy in our neighborhood who makes them. So I profile those. I have those. I get them off the internet with Rig Exchange. I'm a big old school Metallica fan, and I went over there and I found a Mesa Boogie Mark II. I don't even know how you would even find one of those. I've never even played one. I've never even seen one in real life, so get that, play through it. It's amazing. That and ESP made me a couple of custom shop guitars, which were made just just exactly what I need. And the strings come up through the body, which people have said is better for tone, and there's definitely plenty of tone there. And it's easy for me to deal with when I'm on the road, because I'll be setting up my shirts, setting up CDs, and if I need to change strings, I just put it through it's really easy to change the strings. It sounds amazing. Seymour Duncan has made me custom shop pickups. I've gone to MJ and say, this is what I need. And I'll tell her that, and she listens to me play, and she's like, no, I think this is what you need. And so she's like, I got you. And then she makes me the perfect set of pickups. And if you're a musician, there's this new app. Could you hand me one of those cards? Yeah, there's this new app that I've been working with called Bravo Tip or Pay. And it's an app to where it's made to where you can, it's a money exchanging app. So at first they were thinking for a bartender or a valet driver, but then like musicians, it's like having an open tip jar. And it's not like some of the other money exchanging apps where I'd have to have your email to send you money. You just check in wherever you are, which you don't even have to check in. I can just look you up and send you $5. And it's so that's one level of things. And the next level is I use that to sell tickets to my shows and sell CDs. I played somewhere this summer, and this guy was like, hey, do you have a card reader? I want to buy a CD. I was like, I don't. And I was like, get your phone out. And I was like, here, download this app. Just send me the money there. And then bam. So it's, I think the more, I don't see how you could live without this as a musician, because it's a way that every musician, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you are, could, make a couple extra bucks. Could be an extra tank of gas in your van while you're on tour. It could be towards your merch order. I say, what if Slash was on there and plays an arena or a stadium, and people are like, oh man, he was amazing, I'm gonna send him $10.
Wow, okay.
So that's the thing I would highly recommend to all musicians to check this out, because this is something that could change all of our lives. It's called Bravo Tip or Pay. They were on Shark Tank.
Okay.
And they invited me to come on Shark Tank with them.
Okay, we'll check that out for you and let you know about this. And Monte,
all right.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
And,
Happy NAMM. I hope everybody's getting their NAMM on.